3,000 years ago, Egypt was ruled by Ramesses II, a prolific builder. His masterpiece was the city he named after himself, Pyrmès. As home to the king and seat of power, the city must have looked as if it would last forever. But just a couple of hundred years after it was built, the entire city vanished. For thousands of years, Pyrmès was utterly lost, and the fate of this great city became the stuff of legend. Back in the 1920s, Pierre Montet, one of France's leading archaeologists, found a strange ancient site deep in the Nile Delta at Tanis. The remains he saw here convinced him this was indeed the site of Pyrmès. In Egypt, in ancient times, cities were built along the branches of the Nile, which supplied them with drinking water, sanitation and transport. Like all ancient settlements, Pyrmès' busy streets and markets would have left behind tons of rubbish and, above all, pottery. All ceramics have a unique signature that dates them. The type of clay, the way it was made, the techniques of firing and glazing, all can be pinpointed to specific periods. But the problem with Tanis was that none of the pottery found here could be dated anywhere near Ramesses' reign. Remains of statues and monuments of Ramesses were at Tanis, but all the other finds seem to suggest that Tanis was occupied much later. However, 30 kilometers south of Tanis lies Cantir, where a large concentration of pottery dating from the reign of Ramesses II had been found. Archaeologists began investigating this site and soon found hundreds of mysterious stones, which eventually turned out to be highly significant. Similar stones were found connecting the yoke of the state chariot of Tutankhamun. Thousands of these stones would have held together the harness of war chariots. Ancient texts spoke of Pyrmès as having a huge chariot garrison, and the sheer number of harness stones found at Cantir could mean only one thing. Cantir may actually have been the true site of the lost city of Pyrmès, not Tanis. Electromagnetic scanning equipment revealed foundations of an ancient settlement at Cantir, with extensive roads and walls and buildings that had been hidden for thousands of years. Pyrmès, it seemed, had been found, but how could it be in two places? The buildings and monuments were lying in Tanis, a much later city, but the foundations dating to Ramesses' time had been revealed beneath Cantir. The only possible explanation astonished the archaeologists. About 150 years after Ramesses' death, the Nile tributary around Pyrmès silted up, spelling ruin for the city. Unwilling to abandon this splendid place, the ancient Egyptians decided to move the entire city to where the Nile tributary had been rerouted. The largest statues, weighing up to 1,000 tons, had to be taken down and somehow moved 30 kilometers north to the banks of the new eastern branch of the Nile. Like the pieces of a giant jigsaw puzzle, the monuments of Ramesses II's great city were reassembled at the new city of Tanis. No records remain of how this incredible relocation was achieved. And while scientists may have solved the mystery of why Pyrmès appeared to be in two places at once, how this epic move was achieved, moving thousands upon thousands of tons of rock, remains an ancient mystery to this very day.